Namaste, everyone. Welcome to class. In the United States, it is Thanksgiving Day. So this is a class about gratitude, about santosha in Sanskrit, which is contentment. Just finding the things in the world that we can be content with and are so grateful for. So looking for that little tidbit of contentment in our world, especially today. It's so necessary with all that's going on in our world today. So finding your comfortable seat, just being still for a moment. Anything that supports you, if you need to put something underneath your legs to be able to be comfortable for a few moments, please do that. Making sure that wherever you're making contact with the floor, even if you're sitting in a chair, that your feet, your legs, your bottom are sinking down into the floor while your spine is reaching up. So those two things, rooting and rising. So really feeling that energy of root to rise. Good. So taking your hands for a moment and just lay them with the palm down, just containing yourself for just a moment. You can let the eyes close gently or take a soft gaze as you get in touch with your breath for a few breaths. Noticing it in the belly or the chest. And then smoothing out the breath. Letting the inhale and the exhale be about the same amount of time. Maybe the exhale a second or two longer. But smoothing out any jagged edges to the breath. Notice where it is, how it moves, the quality. And then with intention, flip your palms up in the method of receiving. And just imagine all of us hooked together in space for a moment, in that akash, in the space in which all creation happened, just being very conscious of all of us not being these physical bodies, but being these astral bodies, and that connection being possible amongst all of us that are practicing together this morning. So just letting your eyes close again. Soft breath. Finding yourself in a receptive mode, receiving from the universe. Taking a few breaths and asking yourself, what do I need from the universe? And then knowing that it's a symbiotic relationship, what can I give to the universe? What can I give to the universe? And then letting your hands come gently to your heart space, just placing one hand on top of the other at the chest. And breathing into your hands for a moment, letting the chest swell with the inhale. Move back into place with the exhale. Keep the breath slow and even, smooth. Again, letting your eyes take a soft gaze or close gently. And then naming a few things that light up your life, that make you grateful, on which you can practice constantly contentment. Let them come into your mind, into your heart, and move throughout the body. knowing the body is a container for something much bigger than itself. And then placing our hands in salutation, Anjali Mudra, palms facing one another, thumbs gently touching the sternum. With so much gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters. We salute one another. All of the people that are around us that we're missing this morning. Greetings in our mind to all of our loved ones. With gratitude, we recognize all of the teachers that have put themselves in our paths. Our children, our spouses, our friends, our mothers, our fathers, our siblings. And with intention, we dedicate our lives, ourselves, to self-transformation. May we continue to self-transform on a regular basis. Join me if you can where you are for one Om. If not, just letting the vibration feel through the body. Then letting your eyes open on an inhale. And then just take your arms away and press away an imaginary wall for a moment. Just pressing away, pressing away. And then moving your wrist as we think again about being grateful for these bodies. Think about your arms for a moment, how grateful you are for your hands and your fingers and your thumbs and being able to reach and grab. And just push the arms away, bring them back and push the arms away. Just being grateful for all of the arms for a moment. Arms, hands, fingers, wrists, elbows, shoulders, everything that makes up your arm. Good. Arms up overhead. Hold on to the right wrist for a moment and just tug a little bit over to the left side. Lengthening the torso, opening up the torso, feeling grateful for this whole middle part of our body that holds our heart, our lungs, our digestive organs, our kidneys, and then release. And then hold on to the left wrist and rock over a little bit to the right. Good, just breathing, breathing, feeling that space. Take the arms back up to the ceiling, just reach them up for a moment. Wriggle your wrist one more time, both directions. Wiggle your elbows, both directions. And then move your shoulders with your elbows, just a little salsa dancing for a moment. Again, appreciating the arms of the body, the hands, the fingers, and rest. Good. And then thinking about the trunk of your body for a moment, just realizing its flexibility with our spine, just thinking about it. These bodies that we should be so grateful for, even with their aches and pains, they're still our boat on the river to enlightenment. So let's work on the boat for a moment. So gazing down at the floor, just listening to my voice. Your head is an extension of your spine. As you press into the floor with your feet, your legs, your hands, your arms, arch your spine toward the ceiling, tuck the chin into the chest. Breathe when you're there. Imagine the C curve that's happening with your spine, this embryonic C curve. Tailbone is tucked in, chin is tucked in, body is round. And then as you inhale, find yourself back in a neutral position. Look down at the floor, a little bit of your normal lumbar curve. We're going to go into the other direction as you press into the floor with your hands, your feet, your legs, arching, taking the belly toward the floor. Find the opposite arch. Breathe. And then come back into neutral, just finding that neutral spot for a moment. Okay? And then taking yourself a little bit side to side. Don't take out the hips to the side. We're going to work on the hips and the legs separately. So just take the shoulders away, moving side to side. And then we're going to clean the inside of a barrel for a moment with our whole torso. So rocking over to the left, up to the ceiling, to the right, and down. Left, up, right, and down. Left, up, right, and down. Let's switch. Right, up, left, and down. Right, up, left, and down. One more. Right, up, left, and down. Hopefully your barrel is clean for a moment. Come up for just a moment onto your knees, just to do again a little wrist circles. Taking your fingers and digging through some deep mud as if you were just reaching through mud, slowly gripping through mud. Good. And then come back down. Nice big fingers, as much space as you can get between your fingers. Try to make a right angle between the index finger and the thumb. And then let's focus for a moment on the legs, okay? So just for a moment, raising the left leg out to the side, and then make a slow big circle. Think about the leg as a unit. Slow, other direction. The femur is moving gently in the acetabulum, in that little vinegar cup that's there to hold it. Good, and then release that leg. Press into the floor, feet and hands, legs, and then lifting the right leg, and again, slow circles, nice and slow. Being so grateful for these legs, these hips, these knees, ankles, feet. Good. And I hope we went in the other direction. I started talking and I forgot. Okay, put your other leg down. Great. Come into neutral again, looking at the floor. Relax your legs. Relax into your fingertips for a moment, and then re-engage. Tops of the feet or curl toes into the floor. Press your hands into the floor. Find your normal lumbar curve. Great. And then coming up for a moment. Just coming all the way up to kneeling. Great. So we're going to start with our left leg, and again, appreciating the leg. Left leg is our best friend right now. And stack your knee right over your ankle. Look down, make sure you can't see your heel. You can maybe see the inside of your big toe. Good. So the whole leg is in external rotation. Great. And then take the arms up overhead for a moment. And then relax the hands at the heart as we do this little tiny bit of movement. So think about your toes, flex them up. Think about the arch. Hopefully you can feel it rising as you flex the toes. Press into the heel and the ball of the foot. And then we're going to simply straighten the leg, reach the toes toward the floor, and bend it 3 times. Straighten the leg. Think about your elbow. Don't block it. Think about your knee. Sorry, don't block it. Bring it back. And again. And back. Excellent. And then release that. If you need anything under your knees, be sure to put it there. I have 2, well, right here I have 3 mats underneath my knees. Okay. And now, right leg. Make sure that you have your ankle right underneath your knee, and when you look down, you cannot see your heel. Your heel is hidden completely. Relax your arms for a minute. We'll put it back up again. So just feel that space, big toe available. Good. Arms out to the side and up. And then we'll rest them at the heart. And then straighten the leg. Try to keep the sole of the foot on the floor. And bend. And straighten. And bend. And straighten. And bend. So think about the whole leg, the knee, the ankle, the foot, and appreciating it. Relax your arms. Good. And then release. Now let's take our hips back to our heels to make that a little higher and more accessible. Curl your toes under and set your sit bones close to your ankles. Good. Arms up overhead. And flip the palms to face each other. So we have now external rotation on our arms as well. So bring the palms together and then open the palms. We're going to go to internal rotation as we flip the palms down, thumbs to the front, and then reach back, interlace the fingers, and squeeze. And now back into external rotation by taking the shoulder blades together to kiss. Release the arms to the side. Good. And then back up overhead. Excellent. Hands into the heart. And then just balance yourself on your balls of the foot for just a moment. Just a little bit of a foot balance. Great. And then let's come up to standing. So notice any small twinges, any aches and pains in the body. Send loving kindness there for a moment. So just noticing. Find your Tadasana, your stable Samastiti, equally balanced pose. Good. So for just a moment, rest. Relax your pelvic floor, your belly, your chest, your shoulders, your jaw. Your arms are heavy. Just letting the bones and the structure of your body have you. Just rest. Standing Shavasana. So again, taking inventory of this body for which we're grateful. Think about your toes, your feet, arches, ankles. Come up your shins and your calves. Think about those knees. Mine have been very abused. Coming up to the thighs, front of the thighs, back of the thighs, inside out, the whole of the leg. So bring your awareness into the whole leg. Sort of a standing yoga nidra for a moment. Bring your awareness to the fingertips, thinking about the fingers on your left hand, your right hand. Think about your wrists, not moving them, bringing your awareness there, conscious awareness of the space. The forearms, front, back, the elbows, front and back, all around. The upper arm, moving into the shoulder socket. Both arms, being grateful for both arms, allowing you to move through space, to reach, to grasp. Our legs to walk. And now thinking about the trunk of the body, your pelvic floor, your belly, your back, your ribs. Think about the neck extending up and the spinal cord innervating every part of your body, tucked into the spine, your whole nervous system. Just being grateful for a moment for your nervous system. Perfect or imperfect, being grateful for it. And then letting your head just balance gently on your spine as your eyes close for a moment. Just a little bit of soft stability. As we again bring our thought of santosha to our body. What parts of your physical body bring you contentment? The senses, how you get your input. The mind, how you remember. All of these are now in physical structure within our bodies, walking us through our daily life, our experience. And on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open. And we're going to take this out wide. Get as wide as is comfortable for you and wiggle your hips. Get nice and wide. Great. So we're going to start with a twist. You might want a chair in front of you. You might want a block in front of you. So whatever you might have, we're going to start with a twist. but we're bent over at the hip, not at the waist, so that our whole trunk has moved as a unit. And hopefully you would be able to make a line from the crown of my head to my tailbone, down through my pelvic floor, okay? So find that space, lean over, put yourself on a block. You can be on the floor as long as you don't curve your low back in the opposite direction. You want to keep a little bit of your natural lumbar curve, okay? So find yourself there. Lift the toes. Make sure your heels are behind your second and third toe, so you have plenty of space. With the toes lifted, you should feel a little arch form. And then relax the toes down, no gripping with the toes. Take your pelvic floor back to the wall behind you. Feel that the pubic bone and the tailbone are reaching back behind you as you have your whole body at a right angle to the floor. Parallel to the floor. Sorry, the other part is right. And then let's go ahead and put our left hand underneath the sternum. Our right hand, go ahead and reach your right arm out to the side. Just reach it out to the side for a second. And then bend the elbow and just rest the right arm somewhere along your back so that you can actually not have to work with the arm, just letting it move with the shoulder. Good. Now we're going to do an opposite breath that you may have done. We're going to inhale and open as you press into the block. Open your shoulder to the right. Use the right shoulder and elbow to help you open. And exhale, release. So follow your breath. You may go faster or slower than me. Just using one breath to open and one breath to close. Press into the block or to the floor, wherever you are. One more time, and this time stay. Lift your toes, lift your toes. Release the right arm up toward the ceiling. Reach it toward the ceiling. Palm is facing the right side. Thumb is facing the screen, or at least facing me. Good. And then release the arm down. Let it hang like a pendulum for a moment. And then switch hands, okay? So now the right hand is on the block. And then take your left arm out to the side. Lift your toes. Make sure your feet are totally engaged. Bend the elbow and just bring the arm back so that it allows your shoulder and elbow to be the moving parts here. Pull in your pelvic floor, lift up your belly. Exhale the breath, belly to spine. Inhale into the chest and open to the left side. Your gaze can go to the left and return. Inhale, open. Exhale, return. Use the shoulder to open your torso. Keep your hips stable. Nothing moves. This time we'll stay. Press into the block on the floor. Press into your feet and legs. And then as you're ready, reach back along your spine with your arm. Just reach along. Take your thumb up toward the ceiling. Reach the palm out toward the left side. And then raise the arm up overhead. Breathe. And then slowly release the twist and just let the arm hang like a pendulum for a moment. And then set both shoulders firmly on your back. Lift your toes. Bend your knees slightly. Bring your hands to somewhere along the thighs. Bend your knees just a slight bend. Take an inhale. And exhale, straighten the legs and come up. Good. Let's heel toe until it's comfortable to step back together. Find your standing Shavasana. Closing your eyes for a moment. And then on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open. And we're going to go broad again. Okay? So nice and wide, however wide feels comfortable to you. Wiggle your hips a little. Just find that space from which you want all of this rotation action to happen. Okay? We're going to externally rotate the left leg, and that'll take our belly button a little bit toward the left. Press into the left leg. Straight leg, press in. And don't let your body lean to the left. Keep your body as upright as possible. Kick out your right heel a little bit, and that'll help you even out the pelvic floor. Good. Great. So being thankful for this girth for a moment, for this breadth, for this width of the body. Go ahead and let your arms come up to shoulder height. Bend your knee. Take a warrior two stance. See if you, maybe you're in a place where you can mirror me for a moment. So you can reach a little bit forward, come into neutral, and reach a little bit back and come into neutral. And a little bit forward and neutral, and a little bit back and neutral. One more time, a little bit forward. So find the distinction, neutral, and a little bit back and neutral. So let's stay in neutral. Good. Palms are facing the floor, but arms are extended through the fingertips. And then bring and tuck your chin in just a little. And then release your chin and look up a little. And then bring your head and neck into neutral before you take your gaze right out to the left side. Keep your head as an extension of your spine. Breathe. And then inhale, straighten the leg, look forward. Exhale, bend the knee, and go back. So palms facing down. Inhale, palms facing up, come up. Exhale, palms facing down, bend the knee. One more time. Inhale, up. And exhale, bend and gaze to the side. Release your arms, straighten the leg. Bring your gaze back to neutral. Release the leg. Go ahead and kick the left heel out a little bit, and now externally rotate to the right side. Good. So feel that space, leg is straight. Lift the feet, lift the toes for a moment so you can really engage. So foot is totally rooted. Relax the toes. Good. And then bend the knee. Make sure that you aren't leaning again. We're going to do those extremes. So arms up, and then lean a little bit to the right, and come back. See if you can mirror me. A little bit to the left, and come back. A little bit to the right, and neutral. Left, and neutral. Right, and neutral. And left, and neutral. Good. Being where you are. Again, tuck the chin in a little bit, take the chin up a little bit, find that happy neutral spot before you take your gaze out to the right side. Keep reaching back with your left arm. And then flip the palms, bring the arms up overhead, gaze front and center. Straighten the leg. And then exhale, palms down, bend the knee, looking to the right. Inhale, come up. And exhale, down. Inhale, up. And exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, up. And exhale, down. Release the arms. Bring your gaze back front and center. Straighten the leg. Unrotate the right leg. Just keeping that open abduction. No rotation on either leg. Good. And coming back into that space where our spine was long. Good. Breathing. I've got my hands on a block. You can have your hands on the floor, a chair, wherever you're going to go. Evenly distribute the weight between your hands and your feet. Let your feet and your legs have about 55%. The rest of it in your shoulders, because we're going to heel together, toe together, heel together. Bring our elbows to above the knees. Nice little squat. Good. And then bring your hands back to the block. Continue to heel toe until you can come back into that toe balance that we started in. So nice little toe balance. You can take your block out of the way. You can always just sit on the block here too. I mean, that's another wonderful option. Good. So in our toe balance, your hands can rest on your thighs, your heart. They can be out in front of you, whichever gives you the most sense of balance. Just breathing. And then slowly just making your way down to the ground. Extending the legs out in Dandasana, staff pose. Good. Nice and tall spine. So sit bones firmly on the floor, heels firmly on the floor. Your knees may be off the floor. Don't press them down. Just wherever they are, press through the heels, though the heels are very active. Your dominant hand on top, just resting one palm in the other. Let the thumbs gently touch. Bottom part of the body, the inferior belly button down is active and the upper part is relaxing. If you can relax your shoulders, your jaw, your arms. Good. And then bring your hands beside you for a moment. Just lift up your sit bones, shake them out for a moment, set yourself down. Again, right on top of the sit bones, bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet together. Good, just the soles of the feet together. Again, press into the floor, lift up your sit bones, sit yourself down again, hold the knees in a little bit. Bring them in, bring them in. And then slowly, with control, relaxing the legs out to the side, but with control. Only going as far as is comfortable. Walk your hands down your shins, holding on to the shin or the ankle or the foot or the toes, wherever you are. Press into the sit bones, pubic bone, tailbone. So sitting on a diamond of the pelvic floor. Good. Breathing. And then go ahead and bring in your left heel to the groin and your right leg back behind you. And get nice and tall in Vaishwasan, bull pose. So we're going to do a little twist here, but I want you to make sure that if both sit bones are not on the ground, grab a block or a pillow or a block and put it underneath your left sit bone. So getting the left sit bone up so that the right sit bone can hang in space and even out your pelvic basket. So we want to even out the spine. We don't want a big losing of the lumbar curve before we start our twist here. So putting something underneath. And then a little twist in the torso. Keep the hips stable. Twist in the torso. You can let your head eventually go out over your left shoulder. And then just the head. Arch the chin a little bit toward the ceiling and bring the head out over the right shoulder. Breathing. And then release the twist. And just notice in this trunk of our body, in the torso, that feeling that happens there. Good. Remove the block. We're just going to switch. So bringing the right heel into the groin and the left leg back behind you in internal rotation. Right is an external rotation. Again, if both sit bones are not on the floor, go ahead and take your block, put it underneath your right sit bone, left one hanging in space. Trying to even out so that you're not having a nice, unnice curve on your lumbar in the wrong direction. Just working too hard, too much. So get the space. Good. So hips are stable and the movement of the twist happens from the ribs up. So from the belly button down, nothing moves. As you inhale, use the inhale so you can resist against it and twist out to the right side. You can slowly let your chin make its way out toward your right shoulder. And then slowly arch your chin toward the ceiling and draw your face and head over to the left shoulder. Good. Breathe. And then slowly release. And notice the difference between right, left, left, right. Good. And hopefully you have your block with you, or if not, a pillow. I'm going to put it right between my ankles and sit on it. My sit bones are on it, and that means my ankles and my knees are block width apart. They're even. This is Vaishwasan Thunderbolt pose. You can sit in Virasana if you want, bottom on the floor and your legs in internal rotation, whichever is most comfortable for you. This is probably most comfortable for everybody, but you decide. Good. So close your eyes for just a moment and feel yourself grounding down through the pelvic floor, through the legs, through the feet. Flip your palms back again into receiving, just resting the back of the hands on the thighs, palms facing the ceiling. In your receptive mode. All of the boons of the universe coming in. And then asking yourself, what can you give into this symbiotic relationship of life? And then on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open. So it's time for an inversion to balance out our prans for a moment, or balance out our vayus. So an inversion can just be legs up the wall with your hips elevated, but you don't elevate your hips at all if you're not inverting. Who doesn't invert? You don't if you're on the first few days of your menstrual cycle, if you have glaucoma or any eye pressure problems. Inversions are not for you. You need to keep your bottom and your head on the same plane, right? Not take your hips higher than your head. So if you're not inverting, this is a perfect pose, just going over close to a wall, resting your legs on a wall right there. If you are inverting and you have a block, you're welcome to use the block to invert and let your legs be up toward the ceiling. Softly relax, not shooting up with a lot of muscular energy. Let them relax. And if you don't have a block and you want to try, then just lift the hips and raise them up. Let the hips set in the hands. And Viparit Karani Mudra, topsy-turvy pose. So you can take that or any inversion that you may have as part of your practice, any place you'd like to go to invert for a moment. And if you're not inverting, maybe just taking another seated twist. You can take a reclined twist. Bridge pose is an inversion, so don't substitute that if you're not inverting. Finding the inversion of your choice and being there for one more full minute. Just let yourself relax your jaw, let yourself relax your eyes, your skin. preparing yourself to come out of your inversion. Slowly making your way to the floor. You may need a transition pose, just resting for a moment, not jumping into anything else, just resting. And then ask yourself if you need any other pose before Shavasana. So Shavasana today, I want you to take it completely relaxed. So don't feel that you have to stay within your mat. Just wherever you find it, completely relaxed. Your legs can be spread apart. You can think of yourself as a snow angel. And just finding that space in your body. Again, I'm going to lead you just briefly in a little bit of a gratitude practice for these physical bodies, these stula shariras, these bodies that carry our soul along the river to enlightenment. Letting yourself sink into the floor. Letting the weight of your body sink down. And the lightness of your soul float up. Hovering at the top of your skin as your physical body sinks down into Mother Earth, and your soul feels light, unencumbered. They are both you, reveling in the knowledge that they are both you. The toes, the arches, the heels, the ankles, the tops of the feet. Just letting your awareness touch these places that I mentioned for just a moment. Just briefly touching, don't linger. The shins, the calves, inside of the lower leg, outside of the lower leg. The knee, front, back, side, side. The thigh. Both sides, left and right, simultaneously. Inner thigh, outer thigh, top of the thigh, back of the thigh, hips, your bottom, your sides, the whole of the pelvic floor. Moving up to the waist, the whole trunk of the body, shoulders, ribs, softening. All of the organs in the body working, doing their work all of the time. Your fingers, the thumbs, the back of the hand, the palm of the hand, the wrist, forearms, front, back, side, side, elbows, front and back, side, side, upper arms, back, front, side, side, shoulders, shoulder blades, down the back, soft neck, soft head, the brain floating gently in the cranium, the heart, the lungs, all of the organs floating and working effortlessly, just letting go. Relax your face and the space between your eyebrows. Soften your tongue and the mouth and the eyes and the sockets. Rest. Rest your body in a sea of content. Slowly and gently bringing your awareness into the breath, noticing the rise and the fall of your belly or your chest, letting the body begin to lift off the floor a little, not so deep, letting the soul sink in a little deeper until you're feeling united, body, breath, mind, soul. Beginning to let the body express itself, stretching, moving, any way your body might want to move for a moment or two. We'll eventually make our way over into embryo pose, but just taking your time, listen to your body, listen to your mind. When you've curled up in embryo pose, being grateful for this lifetime, for this experience, for this ability to experience. Hoga. Experience on our way to apavarga, liberation. Learning and gleaning. Slowly and gently begin to press the floor away, spiraling yourself up nice and gently. Finding a comfortable seat once you're there. Making sure you have everything you need to do a short breath practice and move right into meditation. So no moving between breathing and meditation. So get what you need now. Set yourself up. Comfortable seat. Where the base is solid and relaxed and the spine is upright and extended. Again, turning your palms into the mode of receiving. And for a few breaths, I want you to breathe in love and breathe out peace. Breathe in love and breathe out peace. Noticing the breath coming in and out, the quality, the coolness that comes in, the warmth as it goes out. Breathing only through the nose, breathing in love, breathing out peace. Letting the breath extend a little more, a little longer, a little more control. And see if you can extend your exhale a couple of beats longer than your inhale. So breathing in love, exhale out peace, peace. Breathing in love, exhale out peace, peace. Breathing in love, exhale out peace, peace. Keep going. Repeating it as a mantra over and over in your mind. Inhaling love, exhaling peace. If the mind starts to wander, as minds are prone to do, bring it back. Love, peace. Love, peace. And then gently letting your index finger and thumb come together, the mudra of wisdom. And just letting the palms rest on the legs, rest the thumb and the index finger, don't press them, just let them rest toward each other. Spine erect, moving into meditation. Letting the breath control go and just imbibing love and releasing peace. The breath can be short and shallow, just enough to sustain. But anchor the mind in love and peace. love, peace. Ever so gently releasing the mantra, releasing the mudra, and just letting your body imbibe the space around you for a moment. Bringing your senses back online. Notice smells, taste in your mouth, light beginning to come in, sound, the touch of the floor, your clothing, senses coming back online. Bringing your hands into the heart, Anjali. And right here for a moment, again, gratitude, contentment. For what are you giving thanks this Thanksgiving Day? Collecting all of the thoughts that come into your mind, all of the thoughts for which you have gratefulness, and let them slip gently down into your heart space. Nourish them, warm them, keep them there for a moment or two. And then symbolically letting them slip out of your heart space into the very palms of your hands. Letting your fingertips open into lotus. Just holding this mudra for a moment as everything drifts off and into the universe. Just imagining thoughts and offerings leaving. Index, thumb and pinky finger touching for a moment. Wide open lotus pose. And then bringing the hands again into the heart. Any merit we may have earned this morning in our practice of yoga, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient beings. Namaste. I'm coming to you. If you have to leave early, may you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, Zooming or being or whatever you need to make yourself as happy as you can be on this day of giving thanks. Take it out of yourself and place it on to another and give thanks for them and their being. Okay? I'm coming. Okay, let me fix it where you can talk. Hold on. I have a question. How was the sound? I thought I turned off the original sound and I didn't. Was the sound terrible today? Was it okay? Was okay? Más o menos. Yeah, this
Yeah,
thing. Now try.
it was just a little quieter.
Yeah, it's this original sound thing. I thought I turned it off. I meant to turn it off. I'm sorry. So happy Thanksgiving for us giving thanks in Gringolandia. So for those of us here in Guatemala, who cares? It is a day every day is a day to give thanks. Right? So it is nice no matter what to just remember, I do want to call our attention to the fact that this day started out pretty ugly, right? Was to celebrate stealing land from the Indians. So I want to be really sure that we are aware of that. And I think most of us have now transformed it into a day of gratitude and thanksgiving for our whole life and everything. But this is the day we need to remember people of color, black, white, yellow, every color, brown, all the colors in the rainbow. And last night I was reminded of the song. Do you guys remember when you were little? If you went to any kind of Sunday school. And so if you didn't and you're Jewish, just know that you can share a Jewish song with me that must say sort of the same thing, I hope. Jesus loves little children, all the children of the world. Red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in his sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. So just reminding ourselves that we're little children of the world and all of our colors are glorious rainbows. And that's something to give thanks for. We really want to transform everything. The racism is just out of control in the US. Here in Guatemala, it's always been out of control. So anything we can do to help erase that and help change that, that's our duty, right? That is our duty as yogis. Not to just be on your mat and find peace, but to take that peace off the mat and into the world. Yeah.
Sure. Yes, the Thanksgiving is somewhat, us taking the land from the indigenous Americans, but the official Thanksgiving actually started during the Civil War, and it was to give thanks for maintaining the United States. And, we thought that we had knit ourselves back together, and that was from Abraham Lincoln. And so I like to remember that also was the emancipation of the Africans in this country, and it was giving thanks for that.
Thank you, Jean, for sharing that. Yeah, that is also another thing we really want to remember. Yeah, I mean, so many nations have done so much damage and entire populations have been wiped off the face of Mother Earth, and usually in the name of some religion, which is ridiculous, So we have to remember that there's one Purush and there's one God. We all don't know that sometimes because we've forgotten for whatever reason in this birth. Some of us seem to have forgotten that. But no matter how you get on the path, there's only one path to ultimately end up on. So we're going to pray for all those who don't yet understand that. No big deal. It's all good. It's all good. Right. We all are on our own path, and it's that liberation that we're looking for, but you can't do it without experience. I remember we had a student in our yoga teacher training back in the day. She was studying Samkhya philosophy and Bhoga and Apavarga, the experience and liberation. And she said, to heck with liberation. I just want experience. She said, I think I'm going to go travel for 2 years. She had she grew up in India, came to the States working as a lawyer, immediately took her bar as soon as she got through and, to do in the States as well as what she'd done in India. And she'd been so rigid her whole life, she'd never had much experience. And she realized that that's what she was short on. And she wasn't ready for Apavarga until she had more experience. And she quit her job for 2 years and went to travel, which for many of us, that would be, a revelatory experience to have that opportunity to know other cultures and to know how other people are operating in their worlds. So, yeah, I thought, okay, experience, yeah, it's great. It's all great. It's all good. How did you do with your meditation? Well, your shavasana, really. It wasn't really yet when we were in meditation. Could you feel that I wanted you to feel heavy on the floor, but I wanted you to feel light in your soul. I wanted you to just feel a lightness about yourself that had nothing to do with how heavy you may have been on the floor. Were you able to get a little of that? Good. Well, I hope a few of you were. And it's a way to like let your garbage go is how I kind of look at it. Sometimes just let everything just sink down and just let it go. And then out of that sinking down, how like if you pour a pitcher of milk, whole milk, you pour a pitcher of milk, the cream will begin to rise up to the top all by itself. You don't have to do anything. That's kind of how I picture it. You lay down and then of course it kind of is reversed and one's heavier than the other. But it's because it's oil. But you lay down and that separation just begins to occur kind of naturally. You're still in the same pitcher. You're not leaving your body. You're just still right there. But there's that like movement of like separation for just a moment so that you can just revel in that creaminess at the top rather than other stuff at the bottom. Yeah. Yeah. So everybody, I have a Zoom with my family at 5 California time. No. Yeah, 5 California time. 5 California time. And I'm sure Zoom today may crash, We probably got the best hour later on in the day. Who knows?
Good, we got in early.
Who knows what's going to happen in the day? Oh, I still have this thing spotlighted. Let me get that off. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, who knows really what's going to happen all day long? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Sylvia.
I just wanted to say that the breathing, I woke up late and I was like, it's been a little but I was able to join 5 minutes later, and the breathing, gratefulness and exhaling peace was just so beautiful, so lovely. It was just very special. Thank you.
Good. And thanks, Ashoka. Ashoka's, yes. Thank you. That seemed like the perfect place for you to be, was just breathing in all the love that is there for you and the universe offers you. And then you breathing that out as peace, 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 peace of mind, peace in the world, peace everywhere, just transforming that love into peace. Yeah.
Yes, the love in, peace out mantra was beautiful. Thank you.
You're so welcome, Ashoka. Antonia, thank you, my darling. Are you guys having lunch from Casacito? No,
It didn't go through.
Oh, mine did. I have Casacito lunch.
You're lucky.
Yeah, there's a nonprofit that's works with children and through a lot of arts. They have painting and music and all kinds of things, pre-K through 12th grade. And they have a lot of gringas, really basically cooking for them and making Thanksgiving lunch to sell so that they can benefit Casacito. So I bought 4 dinners, and there are 3 of us. So hopefully that'll feed us lunch and dinner. So I'm excited because I'm not cooking. I'm not doing anything. I have cooked for the last few years. And this morning I sent off my roll recipe to 5 people that were requesting it. Because I always make homemade. When I do cook, I make everything, but everybody's favorite and everything that, like, now I used to double the recipe and now I quadruple the recipe because everybody wants to take it home. Or my Parker House rolls, and it's just plain old, yeast rolls made with milk. So they're simple and easy and addictive. Well, I hope. Go ahead, Jean.
I like the love. Yeah, I just wanted to say and point out to people that I've found it very profound with Joe Biden that a lot of times when he's been really trying to do a healing. He's really focused on healing, and it's just so wonderful. But he talks a lot about love, and it's a very profound thing that I think that he's doing. I think that, from his religious orientation and background, which is very sincere.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday he gave a Thanksgiving talk, and of course he was asking everybody to be careful and be safe. But he also said he keeps bringing up love, and let's love one another, and let's be there for one another. And I just think we're just so fortunate. I'm so grateful, and that he's coming from that space of talking about love and caring.
And if we could all reach out to someone who doesn't see that, like Jean or me or Nancy or Sylvia and Antonia and Cam and Wendy, all of you people that see it the same, but we have to reach across the aisle. Those people that are feeling so disenfranchised that went out there and voted for that man need our love and acceptance on some level. We have to reach across the aisle. We have to reach across the aisle, because I think that the reason they voted for him is they no longer know how to reach across an aisle. So if there's anyone that you know and love and are thinking you're not calling them, even though they're your friend or your relative because they voted for what's his face, call them today and tell them you love them and that your love is beyond who they voted for. And that will be marvelous. Okay. Okay, everyone. Much love to you. Much, much, much love. And have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. I'll see you Tuesday morning at 7 o'clock in California and 9 o'clock here in Guatemala.
And special thanks for you for keeping this space. Seriously, is so nourishing, and I am so appreciative of seeing you twice a week.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you to everyone. I'm so grateful for you. You make my day. Let me tell you, you make my week. You've made my whole pandemic be possible for me mentally and emotionally. So I love and appreciate you.
Love you.
Hello. Hello.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to say that I've really appreciated these classes because unfortunately it looks like I'll be working in the morning and not able to join for a while. But I've really benefited from your classes. My name's John Cornell.
Yeah, I remember, John. I do. And you know what? They're all online. If you want, if you just go onto YouTube and search Ginger Hooven, Ennio changed the channel to my name. So if you just search Ginger Hooven, you'll find the channel, and you can take all the old classes and pretend that I'm in the room.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, I'd love to have you do that. Yeah, that would be great. Just to keep up your practice. I'd love to practice with you, and even in that vein. Okay.
Well,
Thanks,
I appreciate
John.
that invitation. I'll check it out.
Thanks, John. Okay, everybody, he says bye. Everybody have a nice one. Happy Thanksgiving.